Have you ever walked into a room and felt like you've been there before, even though you know it's impossible? Déjà vu is often brushed off as a brain glitch, but what if it's more than that? What if it's a nudge from an alternate version of yourself, trying to send you a message? Pay attention, because these signs might be more common than you think. Let's start with those sudden, strange feelings you can't quite explain. Maybe your heart races out of nowhere, or you feel a sudden chill despite the room being warm. These sensations often defy logic and are dismissed as anxiety or random body quirks. But here's a fascinating idea. Could these sensations be energetic echoes from an alternate version of you, experiencing something profoundly different? For instance, what if your alternate self is going through a life-altering event at that very moment? That sudden spike in energy might not be yours alone. Then there are the thoughts that keep circling in your mind, ideas or memories that don't seem to belong to you. You're cooking dinner, and out of nowhere, you're thinking about a completely unrelated scenario, like standing at the edge of a cliff or living in a city you've never visited. These aren't just random brain glitches. They might be breadcrumbs from your alternate version, sharing experiences or insights. Paying attention to these recurring thoughts can help you uncover patterns or hidden desires that your conscious mind hasn't acknowledged yet. Have you ever woken up one day and thought, "Why am I so obsessed with painting all of a sudden?" Or maybe you've always hated jazz music, but suddenly it's all you want to listen to. These abrupt shifts in interests are often brushed off as phases. But what if they're more than that? Some researchers and spiritual thinkers suggest that alternate versions of yourself are living out different dreams, desires, and hobbies. When these preferences bleed through to your current consciousness, it could be a gentle nudge to explore a part of yourself that's been dormant. Here's where it gets fascinating. The more you tune in to these signs, the more you'll start noticing patterns. That's because awareness creates connection. The next time you experience a strange physical sensation, a recurring thought, or a sudden shift in your interests, pause and ask yourself, what is this trying to tell me? If you're enjoying this exploration into the mysteries of alternate realities, don't forget to become a channel member. As a member, you'll gain exclusive access to in-depth content, guided journaling exercises, and a supportive community where we dive deeper into topics like this. Your support means everything, and together, we can continue to unlock these fascinating mysteries. Let's take a step into the world of science. You might think alternate versions of yourself are purely imaginative, but quantum physics suggests something mind-bending about the nature of reality itself. Scientists are discovering that our universe may not be as singular and straightforward as we once believed. Have you ever heard of the observer effect? It's one of the most puzzling phenomena in quantum mechanics. At its core, it means that particles behave differently when they are being observed. In other words, your awareness actively influences the way reality unfolds. Now think about this. If consciousness has the power to shape outcomes on a microscopic level, what does that say about the bigger picture of your life? Could your thoughts, feelings, and even messages from an alternate version of yourself be influencing your present experiences? Scientists like Hugh Everett proposed the theory of parallel universes, also known as the many worlds interpretation. The idea is simple yet mind-blowing. Every decision you make creates a branching path where alternate versions of you exist, living out the outcomes of those choices. Picture this. In one universe, you decided to take that job offer in a different city. In another, you turned it down and stayed where you are. Both versions of you might be existing simultaneously, separated only by a thin veil of perception. If that's true, then those strange urges, vivid dreams, or unexplained sensations might just be moments where the boundary between your current self and an alternate version becomes blurred. What's even more fascinating is that mainstream science is starting to take consciousness seriously as a fundamental part of reality. For example, researchers at Princeton University conducted experiments showing that human intention could influence random number generators. This suggests that consciousness might be more connected to the fabric of existence than we ever imagined. Other studies have delved into phenomena like déjà vu, which some scientists believe might be linked to parallel processing in the brain. or, as we're exploring here, a possible overlap with an alternate version of yourself. This isn't just a fun thought experiment. It has real implications for how you live your life. If alternate versions of yourself are out there, living different experiences, what wisdom could they share with you? The key lies in being open to these messages and paying attention to the signs. If you're finding this discussion fascinating and want to access exclusive content that takes these concepts even further, become a member of this channel. As a member, you'll join a community that dives into these transformative ideas and provides tools to help you navigate life with expanded awareness. In the next section, we'll break down how to interpret these messages from your alternate self and recognize the meaning behind the signs. Stay with me. There's much more to uncover. So, you've noticed the signs, those unexplained sensations, recurring thoughts, and sudden changes in preferences. But what do they actually mean? Why are these messages showing up now? And how can you make sense of them? Let's break it down. There's often a reason why these signs appear at specific times in your life. Think about it. When you're at a crossroads, facing a big decision, or feeling stuck, these messages seem to surface more frequently. It's as though your alternate self, having lived through similar experiences, wants to guide you toward a better outcome or help you avoid repeating a mistake. For example, you might have recurring thoughts about a particular career path right when you're contemplating a job change. Or maybe a vivid dream about a place you've never been shows up when you're feeling restless and seeking a new adventure. Let's explore some of the most common ways these messages present themselves. 1. Dreams that feel like memories. Dreams are one of the easiest ways for your mind to connect with alternate realities. Have you ever woken up from a dream feeling like you just lived an entire day in another life? Pay close attention to the emotions and scenarios in those dreams. They might be reflections of an alternate version of you. 2. Synchronicities and meaningful coincidences. Maybe you're thinking about starting a new project, and suddenly, everywhere you go, you see signs pointing you in that direction, like books, conversations, or even random advertisements. These synchronicities are often messages guiding you toward the right path. 3. Unexplained urges or intuitions. Ever had a strong gut feeling that defied logic but turned out to be right? These moments might be your alternate self offering insight from a different perspective. Not every random thought or feeling is a message from your alternate self. So how can you tell the difference? 1. Intensity. Messages from your alternate self often carry a strong emotional charge. They feel different, more vivid and urgent than everyday thoughts. 2. Repetition. If a thought or sensation keeps coming back, it's worth paying attention to. Repetition is often a clue that there's a deeper meaning waiting to be uncovered. 3. Context. Look at what's happening in your life when these messages show up. Are you at a turning point, facing a difficult decision? The context often provides clues about the message's relevance. Timing is everything. Messages from your alternate self often appear when you're most open to receiving them. Synchronicities, those meaningful coincidences, are the universe's way of aligning events to grab your attention. For instance, let's say you're thinking about moving to a new city, and suddenly, a friend you haven't spoken to in years calls and mentions that exact city. That's not just a random event. It's synchronicity at work. The key to understanding these messages is staying open and curious. Don't dismiss them as meaningless coincidences. Instead, take a moment to reflect and ask yourself, what is this trying to tell me? How does it relate to what's happening in my life right now? What action can I take based on this message? If you're finding this conversation insightful and want to go even deeper, consider becoming a member of this channel. As a member, you'll gain access to exclusive content, practical exercises, and a community of like-minded seekers exploring these profound concepts together. Next, we'll discuss how to take actionable steps when you receive these messages and consciously connect with your alternate self. Stay tuned. It's going to be transformative. Recognizing messages from your alternate self is only the first step. The real power lies in taking conscious action. These insights aren't just fascinating. They're invitations to improve your life in meaningful ways. Let's explore practical steps you can take to harness these messages and connect with your alternate self. Your alternate self might be trying to help you avoid mistakes they made or guide you toward opportunities they didn't take. Ignoring these messages is like declining valuable advice from someone who's already walked a path you're just beginning. By acting on these insights, you open yourself up to new possibilities and align your life with a more fulfilling path. Methods for conscious connection. 1. Quieting the noise. In a world full of distractions, it's essential to create moments of stillness. Meditation or simply sitting in silence can help you tune into subtle messages that are often drowned out by daily chaos. 2. Asking intentional questions. When you notice a sign or experience a strong intuition, ask yourself, "Oh, what does this mean for me? Oh, what decision or change is being suggested? Oh, how does this relate to my current situation?" Be patient and trust that clarity will come. 3. Visualization exercises. Close your eyes and visualize yourself standing at a crossroads. Imagine different versions of you living out various choices. Which version feels aligned with your deepest desires? Use this as a guide for decision-making. Journaling techniques for tracking patterns. Keeping a journal is one of the most powerful ways to connect with your alternate self. How to start? Write down any recurring thoughts, dreams, or unusual experiences. Note the emotions you feel and any decisions you're grappling with. Look for patterns over time. These often reveal valuable insights. Prompt ideas. What signs or synchronicities have I noticed recently? What decisions am I facing right now? How does my intuition feel about these choices? Making decisions with multidimensional awareness. When faced with a choice, don't just rely on logic. Tap into your intuition and consider the wisdom your alternate self might be offering. Practical tip. Before making a significant decision, take a moment to ask yourself, what would my alternate self, who already knows the outcome, advise me to do? Trust that the answer will come, even if it's subtle. Every time you notice a message and act on it, you strengthen your connection with your alternate self. Over time, this relationship becomes a powerful source of guidance and wisdom. If you're ready to explore these transformative ideas further and want access to exclusive content, consider becoming a member of this channel. As a member, you'll join a community dedicated to living life with expanded awareness and purpose. Let's recap the key signs and remind you of the incredible power that comes from staying open to these messages. Don't miss it. It might just change the way you see your life forever. The next time you feel déjà vu, experience a sudden shift in preferences, or have a vivid dream that feels like a memory, pause. Don't dismiss it as a random occurrence. These moments might be messages from your alternate self, guiding you toward growth, happiness, and a life aligned with your true potential. We've explored the signs to watch for, such as déjà vu moments that seem too significant to ignore, unexplained sensations and recurring thoughts, synchronicities that show up at just the right time. We've connected these experiences to groundbreaking scientific ideas, shared practical steps for interpreting these messages, and provided actionable ways to consciously connect with your alternate self. Life is filled with mystery, and that's what makes it beautiful. You don't need to have all the answers right away. Just stay open and curious, knowing that your alternate self is a source of wisdom and guidance, helping you navigate this journey. If you found this video enlightening, don't keep these ideas to yourself. Share them with friends and loved ones. Also, I invite you to become a member of this channel, where you'll gain access to exclusive insights, guided exercises, and a supportive community exploring profound concepts together. What signs have you noticed recently that made you pause and think? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your story might just inspire someone else to listen more closely to their inner messages. And remember, when you notice a sudden urge, an unexpected sign, or a familiar yet strange thought, it might be the most important message of your life. Stay aware, stay curious, And most importantly, stay open to the infinite possibilities that life offers.